Hey, welcome back. So this tutorial series is getting towards the end. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some background music to our levels. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways. There are many other ways to do this, and you can have different effects using those other ways. But we're going to use a couple straightforward methods to just get music into our game, since this is supposed to be meant as a fairly simple game. If you're just now joining me, you can go ahead and check out Putting on the Fritz 3D Visualization and get caught up on this video tutorial, as well as check out some of my other tutorials that I have on there as well for both Maya and making video games. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what I'm talking about here. All right, so basically, if I hit play, I have some background music that starts to play. Start the game. I have a different song that plays here. And once I collect these coins, okay, and then if I go to the next level, different sounds, different music, background music, different feel for the game, a little bit more dark and ominous. And then this third one, a little bit more of a lead in, a little bit more ominous again. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at a couple processes of being able to do that. All right, so back here in my demo game. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and go to the website to download some music. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to freesound.org. Okay. Again, freesound.org. And I'm going to take a look at a couple different sounds. Now, one of the things to talk about here is when you're thinking about your game, music adds a lot of atmosphere to your game. It gives you the ability to give your player the feel for your game. Sound, although isn't always interacted with by the player, does give a lot of feeling to the player about your game, and it's an opportunity for you as a game designer to really kind of bring it home as far as how your game sounds and feels to your players. So sound can be very important then. So let's go ahead and type in music up here at the top. Okay, and when I do that, over here on the right hand side, you'll see that there's some things about licenses, right? Attribution, non-commercial, and then Creative Commons. And the sampling one is just some samples. All right, so attribution means that you got to give credit to whoever made the song, music, or sound that you put into your game. And that is one way that you can do this, and usually it's free, but there are maybe other controls and limitations that the creator will put on to that particular sound or music that you want to use. Attribution non-commercial just says it straight up right at the very beginning. You got to give credit to who created it, and you cannot use it commercially to make any money off of it. Creative Commons is what we're going to look at today. So Creative Commons is a little bit different, all right? So there's no copyright on it, okay? So they've deeded and dedicated the work to the public domain by waiving all of their rights. And you can copy, modify, distribute, and perform work even for commercial purposes, all without asking permission. And then there's some more additional information down here below. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Creative Commons. There's a whole bunch of different music you can find in here, okay? And I've used some different ones. The examples I'm going to use are by this Dave JF here. And what we're going to do is go ahead and select one, okay? And you're going to download it. Now, down here it says the type is an MP3. So that means we're going to have to do a conversion for this to be able to get it to work correctly inside of Unreal Engine. And I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. Waves will work directly, so you can just find a wave and download it. But it's not a big deal to convert it either. I have a pretty simple process for that. So once you find the sounds that you want, and you're going to download them, okay, and here I've already downloaded these three that I'm going to use and this fourth one as well. And this is a wave, and I'm going to show you the difference between the three when we import them into Unreal Engine real quick. And then we'll go ahead and modify them, okay? So down here in my project, I'm going to hit the content drawer, right click, I'm going to add a new folder. This one's going to be for my music. Okay. Double click and open that up. Bring this folder back over. Now, this wave one, okay? I can click it, drag it, drop it right in. It'll take a second. There should be a little pop-up behind there. All right. And it should look like this. If I hit play, it should work right away. And you can kind of hear it building in the background. This is that one that kind of had that long lead in on my level 3. All right. So I'm going to hit stop. Now, if I drag in an MP3, it does come in, okay, into my content drawer. But it comes in as this type of a file, so file media source. This is not something that we want to use, okay? We're going to just go ahead and close that, okay? I'm going to go ahead and go back to content drawer. I'm going to select that one, and I'm going to delete it. Okay, with this one of the things I want to show you real quick before I forget, because sometimes I do, is if I double click on it and open it up, right down here on the left hand side under details it says looping. We want to make sure that we hit this little checkbox on all of these that we're going to use for our background music, because we want it to continually play. Now, if this was a sound effect like a gun burst or an explosion, we may not want to have it looping. We have to double check to make sure it's not looping, okay? So you'd come in here and do that. Make sure you save it, okay? So now I'm going to go back to my main menu. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at how we can modify these, convert them into an MP3, or from an MP3 into, I'm going to use an OGG. OGG and Waves both work pretty well with Unreal Engine. So I have this program right here called, let me go ahead and clear this out. Go ahead and close that. Don't want to save that. Okay, so Audacity is a free software that you can download from the internet. I will have the website down below in the details, along with the freesound.org website, so that you can easily click on them and get to it. All right, and then you can download it and install it on your computer, and do this pretty simply. You can edit and do all kinds of things with this software, but all we want to do is we just want to do a conversion, and it's pretty simple, pretty easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag and drop that right onto Audacity, okay? And there you have it. It selects it and turns it into the sound files, and you can see the left and right channels, okay? And what we're going to do next is go up to select. We're going to select all, so it all turns white. It all should be selected. We're going to go to File. We're going to go to Export, and we're going to export it as an OGG, okay? And I've already done this so that it would save us some time. So I'm not going to go all the way through the process, but I'm going to step you through it. So right here, it asks for what file name you want to give it. So you can just pick a name for it, and then hit save. And then this pops up, and you can put some detail information in here, like this one. The artist was Dave JF. Okay. It can be a track or title number, whatever you want to use in here. Same with the album if you want to do that, or a track number. Genre, put in game, or whatever you want to call it. It could be horror or upbeat, whatever. And then comments. What I usually like to do for comments is I will go in and I will find the sound, okay? I'll copy the site for it, go back to my Audacity, and I'll paste that in here, okay? And that way, if I ever need to come back, double check the license or find some more information about it, as long as it's still on the internet, I will be able to do that, okay? All right, and then you would click OK, and it'll save it. I'm going to go ahead and click cancel since I don't need to save it again. And I'm going to go ahead and close out Audacity right now, okay, since I'm done. But you're going to do this 3 or 4 times, or how many times you need to for the music that you download, if you need to convert it from an MP3, okay? If it's a wave, it will work directly as it is. If it's already an OGG, you can also do it, download it as well. Okay, and put it directly into Unreal Engine. Okay, so with that done, so now what we want to do is I'm going to go ahead and go back to my project. I'm going to go to my content drawer, right here where my music is. I'm going to find my song. So what I did is when I save those, I have a folder that I put these in, okay? And I want to drag in those songs that I downloaded from Dave JF. Drag them in here, and oh, not sure what that was about. I'll have to come back and see. It had something to do with this file that I already installed down here. All right, so there they are. They're inside of my project now. Okay, so down here in my content drawer in my music folder. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our player. This is a simple one that's going to make it so that it only plays the one song that you pick. If you only want one song and you want to play it over and over and over again in your game. Okay, now the one caveat to that is it will not play at the very start. And the next process that I'm going to show you, you could go in and you could go to your main menu level and also do this same process that I do to make it play so that when you open up your start menu, it'll play. And then as soon as you start to play, this same song that would be associated with your player will play over and over again. All right. So just pull off of here. We're going to type in, and yeah, I want context sensitive. So I'm going to go ahead and type in play sound. Okay. And we want the play sound 2D. And I'm going to pick the free music one that I downloaded from Dave. Okay, and that's it. I'm going to go ahead and compile and save it. Okay, so now if I go to my main menu and I hit play, no music because I don't have anything associated with this menu. Then I hit play, and that song is going to play. And then it starts over when I go to the next level. And it starts over when I go to the next level, but it's the same song over and over again. Okay? And then when I go to the end game, it'll continue playing. Okay? All right. So that's a straight, easy way to do it. Now, if you wanted to also have it so that your main menu had a song playing, you can go up here to your blueprints. All right? So right here at the very top where it says main menu. And one thing I just realized I forgot to do, but I'll show you this real quick and then we'll go back and fix that, is if I hit the down arrow, I go to open my level blueprints. So this is that one that looked like a little flow chart. Now we already have this attached to event begin play, okay? And that's where we put it here. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. We put it here on our camera fade at event begin play, where we put our widget in, we added it to viewport. We put our play sound 2D right there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and jump back to the main menu. We're going to go ahead and begin play. Pull out from here. It's going to be the same thing, play sound 2D. Hit the down arrow. And I'll pick that same, actually I'm going to pick, yeah, I'll pick that same one because I'm going to use this one here in a second for my demo, okay? Go ahead and hit compile, save. Now if I go back to my main menu, there's that song starting at the very beginning. And it'll continue to play through all three levels just like we saw, okay? All right, so say you don't want to have that happen, okay? So we're going to go back to our player here, our BP My Player, and we're going to remove that. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to Control-C and copy it, and then I'm going to select it, and I'm going to hit delete. I'm going to delete that off of there. So now I've got it copied. So I'm going to compile and save. So I already have one attached to my main menu, right? We already did that here when we went to our main menu in our blueprint level right here, okay? So what we're going to do now then is we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for our other three levels, so level 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to go back to my content drawer, go to my content, find my levels, okay? I'm going to save the selected because I did not save anything yet. And this reminds me, what I need to do is, before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and go back into my content, to my music, find each of these ones that I imported, and make sure I have looping selected for each of these and hit save. Okay, that one's done already. one's done already. Turn looping on for all of these. Make sure they're all saved. All right. So now I'm going to go back to my level 1. Up here again at the top where that little graph is. I'm going to click the down arrow. Go to my blueprints. Right here, event begin play. There's nothing attached to it. So we're going to put our first node on here. This is where we're going to type in play sound 2D. Or you can, if you copied it, you can hit Control V. Okay. And then we're going to find our sound. I'm going to go with song number 2 for this one. Okay, we can compile it, save it. It's going to be the same process for each of our levels. Open level blueprint. Again, event begin play. Actually, I'm just going to hit Control V, because I already have it on there. Change the sound that I have in there. I think this one's going to be 3. Compile, save it. And then go to my level 3. Open level blueprint. Okay. Open this one up. Again, I'm just going to hit Control V since I saved it. And I think I'll finish this one out with, since I got that one on, let's go ahead and put that one on there. All right. Okay, so now it's all done. I'm going to save all. I'm going to go back to my main menu. Hit play. Start. Different song this time, starting at the beginning. Different song on level 2. And then level 3, got to wait for it because this is a long lead in. There it is. And then that'll be the song that's playing when I quit. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial. Hopefully you learned a few new things, learned how to easily put sound in it. Of course, you can do a lot more complicated stuff. You could have it have a different song pop up at game over, but that requires some additional blueprint programming. Tell it when the game is over, tell it when to change songs and things like that. One of the things that I didn't show you, and I'll do that here real quick, is if I go back into my blueprint level, on the Play Sound 2D, if we go in real close to it right there, you can see that you have an option here for your sound multiplier. It's set at 1. If you wanted it to not be so loud and overpowering on your game, you can go below 1, set it like 0.5. If you want it to be really loud, of course, you can raise that number up. There's also a pitch multiplier that you can play with as well to kind of give it a different kind of sound, and so it has a different pitch sound to it. So you can kind of play around with that if that's something you wanted to mess around with as well. These other ones, just leave them at default for what we're doing here. Okay. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial. Again, if you liked what you saw, please like my video. Please subscribe to Putting on the Fritz 3D Visualization so you can keep up with what we're doing. And I'll see you next time.